Have you ever wondered if Esau's lineage carries the blood of the Nephilim? Today I'm diving into an intriguing biblical mystery that's puzzled scholars for centuries. Esau, the elder twin of Jacob, is a significant figure in the Bible. But beyond his birthright and blessing story there lies a deeper, more enigmatic question. Could his descendants be connected to the Nephilim, the ancient giants mentioned in Genesis? Let's rewind to the time of the Watchers, the fallen angels who descended to earth and took human wives. This unholy union gave rise to the Nephilim, mighty men of renown, giants who roamed the ancient world. According to Genesis 6:4, they were the offspring of these divine beings and mortal women. So, where does Esau fit into this narrative? Esau's descendants, known as the Edomites, inhabited the rugged region of Mount Seir. The Bible tells us that Esau took wives from the Canaanites, a people often associated with giant clans like the Anakim and the Rephaim. These clans themselves are believed by some to be remnants or descendants of the Nephilim. In Deuteronomy, February 10th, 12, we read about the Emim, a great and numerous people, tall as the Anakim. The land of Edom, Esau's territory, was once inhabited by the Horites, another group linked to giants. Could this be more than just a coincidence? Some scholars suggest that Esau's marriages to Canaanite women might hint at a mingling of Nephilim blood within his lineage. This theory gains traction when considering the ancient Near Eastern context, where tales of giant races were widespread. To add more layers to this mystery, let's examine the Book of Jubilees, an ancient Jewish text. It suggests that the Watchers continued to influence human affairs long after their initial descent. If there's any truth to this, it opens up the possibility that the Nephilim bloodline could have persisted, subtly shaping the course of history, including the lineage of Esau. But what does this mean for us today? Understanding these ancient connections can offer us deeper insights into the biblical narrative and the spiritual battles that shaped our world. It's a reminder of the profound and sometimes hidden ways in which the divine intersects with the human. As we continue to explore these ancient mysteries, it's crucial to approach them with both curiosity and discernment. While the evidence may be circumstantial, the possibility of Nephilim blood within Esau's lineage remains a fascinating topic for biblical scholars and enthusiasts alike. So, what do you think? Could Esau's seed indeed carry the blood of the Nephilim? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and join me next time as we delve even deeper into the ancient truths hidden within the pages of the Bible. Until then, keep seeking, keep questioning, and keep discovering.
The book of Genesis introduces us to Esau, the elder twin brother of Jacob. Esau is described as a skilled hunter, a man of the field. He was born with a twin brother, Jacob, who was favored by their mother, Rebekah. Their story sets the stage for a rivalry that echoes throughout biblical history. From the beginning, a divine decree hangs over them. 2 nations are in your womb, and 2 peoples from within you shall be divided. The one shall be stronger than the other, the older shall serve the younger. Genesis 25:23. Esau is portrayed as impulsive and driven by immediate gratification. This is exemplified in the well-known narrative where he sells his birthright to Jacob for a bowl of stew. This act, driven by physical hunger, demonstrates a disregard for the spiritual inheritance associated with the birthright. This sets the stage for a pattern of choices that paint Esau in a negative light within the biblical narrative. Esau's choices have lasting consequences. He marries outside the covenant line, taking Hittite wives who bring grief to his parents. This act further distances him from the blessings promised to Abraham. The narrative contrasts Esau's actions with Jacob's, who, though flawed, demonstrates a greater awareness of the spiritual significance of his lineage and inheritance. The story of Esau is not merely a family drama, it serves as a theological and historical anchor point. His descendants become intertwined with those who oppose Israel, setting the stage for conflict and highlighting the consequences of rejecting the covenant promises. Understanding Esau's story is crucial to grasping the broader narrative of Scripture. The biblical text doesn't shy away from strong language when describing God's view of Esau. He is labeled profane in Hebrews 12:16, a term that signifies a disregard for what is sacred. This label is not arbitrary, it stems from Esau's actions, particularly his willingness to trade his birthright for something as fleeting as a meal. Even more jarring is the declaration in Malachi 1:2-3. "Was not Esau Jacob's brother, declares the Lord? Yet I have loved Jacob, but Esau I have hated." This language, while shocking to modern sensibilities, must be understood within its ancient Near Eastern context. Hate in this context doesn't necessarily denote an emotional response from God. Rather, it reflects a choice, a preference for one over the other based on their alignment with his covenant plan. Esau's disregard for his spiritual heritage marked him as profane. His choices, driven by immediate gratification, stood in stark contrast to Jacob's yearning for the promises given to Abraham. While Jacob's life was far from perfect, his pursuit of God's blessing set him apart. This divine hatred wasn't a condemnation to eternal damnation. It signified that Esau and his line were not the chosen instruments for God's redemptive plan. This distinction is crucial for understanding the unfolding drama of Scripture. God's choice of Jacob over Esau was not arbitrary, but rooted in their respective postures towards him and his covenant promises. Esau's descendants, the Edomites, become a persistent thorn in Israel's side throughout the Old Testament. They are depicted as antagonists, often aligning themselves with Israel's enemies. This animosity is rooted in the ancestral conflict between Jacob and Esau, but it takes on greater significance when we consider the biblical portrayal of Babylon. In Revelation 17, a woman riding a beast is identified as Babylon the Great, the mother of prostitutes and of earth's abominations. This symbolic language depicts a spiritual and political entity opposed to God and his people. Interestingly, this woman is also referred to as the daughter of Babylon. This dual designation points to a lineage, a connection between Esau's descendants and the Babylonian system that embodies rebellion against God. The Edomites, through intermarriage and political alliances, become intertwined with the Babylonian Empire. This connection is more than geographical or political. It signifies a spiritual kinship, a shared opposition to God's chosen people and his plans. This association with Babylon casts a dark shadow over Esau's lineage. The daughter of Babylon imagery highlights the spiritual trajectory of Esau's descendants. Their actions, often fueled by animosity towards Israel, align them with the forces of wickedness that stand in opposition to God. This connection is crucial for understanding the broader biblical narrative of spiritual warfare and the ongoing conflict between the seed of the woman and the seed of the serpent.
Join me as I dive deep into the mystery and challenge myself to uncover whether Esau's seed really has Nephilim blood. So, you might be wondering, what's all the fuss about Esau's seed and Nephilim blood? Well, for those who might not be familiar, Esau's seed refers to the descendants of Esau, the twin brother of Jacob in the biblical narrative. And Nephilim blood, on the other hand, is a concept rooted in ancient biblical lore, associated with the fallen angels and their alleged hybrid offspring, the Nephilim. It's a fascinating topic that has sparked intense debate and speculation among biblical scholars, historians, and enthusiasts alike. The central question we're going to tackle today is whether Esau's descendants indeed carry Nephilim blood and why this topic is significant in biblical and historical discussions. This question is especially intriguing because Esau's story is often seen as a counter-narrative to the Israelite story, with some interpreters suggesting that his lineage might have been tainted by the Nephilim influence. As we delve deeper into this topic, we'll explore the implications of this claim and what it might mean for our understanding of biblical history. This debate is significant because it raises questions about the nature of humanity, the role of divine intervention, and the consequences of supernatural events on human genealogy. Some argue that the Nephilim bloodline, if it exists, could have far-reaching implications for our understanding of good and evil, free will, and the human condition. Others contend that this is purely a mythological concept with no historical basis. As we navigate this complex and multifaceted topic, we'll need to examine the biblical and historical records, as well as the various interpretations and theories that have emerged over time. By doing so, we'll try to separate fact from fiction, myth from history, and get to the heart of this captivating question. The story of Esau's seed begins with the biblical account of Esau, the firstborn son of Isaac, who sold his birthright to his twin brother Jacob for a bowl of stew. This event sets in motion a chain of events that would shape the destiny of the Israelites and, allegedly, Esau's descendants. Meanwhile, the Nephilim story originates in the book of Genesis, where we're told that the sons of God, or fallen angels, mated with human women, giving birth to the Nephilim. These hybrid beings were said to be giants, possessing extraordinary strength and abilities. Some interpreters argue that Esau's marriage to Canaanite women, who were allegedly descended from the Nephilim, might have introduced the Nephilim bloodline into his descendants. This theory is based on the idea that the Nephilim's genetic makeup was somehow passed down through the generations, subtly influencing the course of human history. One of the key texts used to support this idea is the Book of Jubilees, an ancient apocryphal text that provides an account of the early history of humanity. According to Jubilees, the Nephilim were indeed the offspring of fallen angels and human women, and their bloodline continued through the generations, affecting various nations and peoples. As we explore the most compelling evidence and arguments for and against the idea of Nephilim blood in Esau's lineage, it's essential to consider the various theories and interpretations that have emerged over time. Some proponents argue that Esau's descendants, such as the Edomites, were known for their exceptional strength and military prowess, which could be attributed to the Nephilim influence. On the other hand, critics argue that this narrative is purely mythical, with no historical basis or evidence to support it. One of the most intriguing theories suggests that the Nephilim bloodline was somehow connected to the royal lines of ancient nations, such as the Egyptians, Babylonians, or Assyrians. This theory is based on the idea that these nations were founded by powerful, godlike rulers who possessed extraordinary abilities and wisdom, which could have been inherited from the Nephilim. In conclusion, our journey has taken us deep into the mystery surrounding Esau's seed and the alleged Nephilim bloodline. While the debate is far from settled, it's clear that this topic has significant implications for our understanding of biblical history, the nature of humanity, and the role of supernatural events in shaping our world. Thanks for joining me on this fascinating journey into the unknown. If you have any thoughts or theories on this topic, please share them in the comments below. And don't forget to check out my other videos on related topics for further exploration.